Yep, that's fine. So Kaya is the real win here, and then we will -5, target them for how much? 30 points of damage. It's not too bad, up to 51. Dude, there we go. All right. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And I don't typically play Control, but I'm wanting to try out a little bit more today, and I just had the idea of trying to win with Kaya or Resolve Usurper. And I did want to do this before during the last set when we got our Ashiok Nightmare's Muse, where we have a ton of Exile synergy here with Ashiok Nightmare Muse, which every time that a creature blocks, we are exiling things. We also exile with a -3, and then you can cast spells from the exile zone for the -7 here. I wanted to build a deck that was all around Kaya or Resolve Usurper, which also can just deal damage equal to the amount of exile cards in the graveyard. So our only real ways of exiling cards is with Ashiok, Kaya, and Ashiok Dream Render. And I think that between those, it really, really works well. The greatest thing about Ashiok Dream Render is that it completely hoses the what's it called, Luca synergy, anything that searches the library. So Fable Passage, Nissa's minus ability, and Luca's ability to go searching for Agent of Treachery. So we're hoping to kind of just get people off guard with not being able to search the library there, and then also just kind of controlling the rest of the game here. So what we have early game: Omen of the Sea, 3 copies, really good. It's awesome. By the way, I am recording this live as well right now. We're going to be doing emotes only while I'm doing the recording for the first hour, and then I always switch over and play a lot more after the fact. And so if you guys ever want to join me on Twitch, the link is in the description below. Definitely join us and have some fun. I'm doing every Tuesday and Thursday right now, and I'm hoping to ramp up a little bit more once I kind of figure out my schedule with the new house and everything like that. We just had both of our cars break down, and one of them's like 3 hours away. It's the closest place that we can get it fixed, and we're going out of our mind. Anyway, so yeah, so Heartless Act here just for a little bit of early game removal. I set it a couple copies. I was running 4 copies of Ashiok, 4 copies of Kaya initially, but I felt like Heartless Act just was really needed there to kind of help us in the early game. Again, I've not actually tested this one out too much yet, and so I could make some changes, but this is just kind of my initial go for it. Then we also have Mystical Dispute, 2 Narsets, Parter of Vel, just to be able to host people with not being able to draw cards, help us find our pieces that we need, find our Shatter the Skies. That's really important against this in this deck. A couple Neutralizes just to be able to counter spells, and also Cycling. I'm still debating if this is better than the one that Surveils. I forgot the name of it right now, but the Surveilling is pretty nice, and you're going to like typically neutralize. I'm not sure I'm really going to be cycling it all that often unless I really just need to be able to find the Shatter the Skies. Then I can see how drawing a card will be better. So we'll see. Anyway, Cry the Canarium is awesome. Teferi, I'm trying to go down to 2 copies of this versus having the normal like a bunch whenever you're playing Control, but I figured 2 copies will be, it's still good enough because we're trying to focus more on Kaya, Ashiok, and Ashiok. Oath of Kaya, awesome. We've already talked about this stuff. Shatters and Elspeth Conquers Death works great with Teferi, works great. It's just another great piece of removal, helps us bring back our Ashioks and stuff if we go a little bit greedy with stuff. 2 Shark Typhoons to finish off the top end. Everything in our deck is non-creature spells, so if we get this actually on the battlefield, it's busted, broken, amazing. Otherwise, we'll see how it goes. I do have 1 Interplanar Beacon because we're playing so many Planeswalkers, but I feel like having too many more wasn't going to quite work with the deck. Maybe we can go to 2 copies, but everything else needs to be able to cast. Like we want to be able to cast Cry the Canarium and Shatter the Skies on turn 3 or turn 4 if we have them. Otherwise, this deck does not work well. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how this does for me, and yeah, wish me luck. All right, up against Modern, and this looks like an okay hand. We're going to go ahead and keep it. We have some good starting cards. I think I'm going to lead out with the Hollowed Fountain actually first. Tap so we can get the Omen of the Sea because we do want to be able to draw into something butter. Neutralize is great for the Garuda. They can search their graveyard though, so we'll go Castle. We actually need to find blue mana, so that's the goal with Omen of the Sea. That comes in tapped. What am I thinking? All right, pass the turn. They haven't had any ramp just yet. Fable Passage. Oh man, getting out Ashiok sounds good. Oh yeah, Resolve. I don't typically play Control, and so this is going to be a little bit interesting. Omen of the Sea. I think we just have to find blue mana so we can hold up Neutralize. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to be digging as deep as we can for it. So I don't think they're going to be able to play it this turn. So let's actually just do this. So let's Watergrave. Do we want to go Narset or Ashiok? Ashiok doesn't necessarily hose them too much. And I feel like having more pieces will be nice. So let's go with Narset here. And then we can neutralize on the next turn. I'd like to find maybe another neutralize, another counterspell. Kaya is also not bad. We already have the other Ashiok, so yeah, we'll grab Kaya. Showing him our game plan here. That's fine, that's fine. It's all good. Charming Prince. Yeah, if we can neutralize the first Gigan and then just try to stay alive for the rest of them, that's kind of the game plan. Ashiok is also pretty good here. We're gonna go ahead and tick down again.
Meditate and prepare.
Shark Typhoon's not bad. Are we actually gonna have to discard here if we don't play something? Shark Typhoon is a way that we can actually play against them, but Shatter of the Skies also is really good against them just going crazy for the next turn, unless they can actually go off. So I think we go Shatter of the Skies, try to find the other one later. I think we have to discard here. Another Mystical Dispute as well. Yeah, because they're going to have one in hand as well, most likely, right? Pass the turn, we have to discard. We'll discard... probably Narset. I mean, it's probably going to die here, but that's fine. We have so many cards in hand. I think we just discard Narset. The static ability, I don't think will hose him quite as much as we'd want it to. So neutralize here. Lose Narset. Get Mystical Dispute, and we can play out something else here. Swings at our face. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, I don't think the static ability really does much against them. We have the Shatter of the Skies, which is really nice as well. So here, I think we do... is it Kaya? Probably Ashiok. Yeah, let's play Ashiok out. Target them. Exile some more cards. Ooh, we got 2 Dream Trawlers. Oh, that was good. I mean, they're also going to be milling themselves out, so the milling plan isn't a terrible way to go here. If we find land, we can play Mystical Dispute and still hold up more counter magic. So, yeah, we'll dispute that. Thassa is annoying. We can shatter the everything else that happens after. Like if they do get another Gigan, that's kind of fine. This is feeling good. I feel like, man, it's amazing. You just play a deck that has lots of interaction, and somehow it's great. Who would have thunk? So do we go Ashiok then? We could Oath of Kaya, act like we're holding up some counterspell, but we don't really have counterspell. So I think we just play out Ashiok here. Tick up, maybe? We could return this to their hand, make him exile something else. But I think that we just create a blocker. We don't have to Shatter this, guys. We don't need to. And we'll get out Kaya here pretty soon as well, and just start going off that way. Sweet. All right, dude, this is feeling great. I think this is definitely going. Charming Prince. Is that a Spark Devil? Okay, yeah. That's fine. He's one on top. That's not a great sign for us. All right, so tick up with Ashiok, tick down with Ashiok, mill them a bit more. So the one they kept on top is no longer there. I think we could Oath of Kaya and Kaya. That way, if they ever attack our stuff, we're just gaining life.
I heard
you had some dead things that needed to stay dead?
Maybe they have like a planar cleansing. They were trying to keep a white mana up, so I don't know. Okay, kill this. Exile cards. Gain some life back.
This time.
And now we can actually attack in. Exile a few more cards. I mean, if we get to ultimate with this Ashiok, we have their entire deck to play with, and we could actually go off with their Gigan pretty well. So that would be pretty fun. Yeah, can't search for anything. I'm sorry, friend. Oh man. Yep. We are gonna wait a little bit for Ashiok. I don't think we need to play this faster. Yeah, we'll go ahead and exile this. Okay. Nothing to actually gain life with. That's fine.
Back from here on out.
Target them. So how many cards are in exile now? It doesn't actually have a number. Okay, there we go. 24. Godless Shrine tapped. I think what we do is we either just scry or draw a card here. So attacking with both of these. Yeah. And Kaya does kill him on the next turn. So we have a few ways of winning. We can either just go off with the Garuda plan. So we can cast up to 3 spells from among them face up. Okay, they have the Enraged Forerunners. All right. That is bad. That is bad. Maybe I should have is there anything I could have done there? So they can hit both Ashiok and Kaya. Oh, they're just killing Kaya? Or killing Ashiok? That's fine. All right, so we'll just block one. It has trample, but the whole point of just exiling a bit more. Yep, that's fine. So Kaya is the real win here. And then we will -5, target them for how much? 30 points of damage. It's not too bad. Up to 51. Dude, there we go. All right. So we learned that it hoses the Gigan, hoses Garuda. I like it. I like it lots. OMG. We're up against OMG. We get to scry to find some black mana. If we do, this could be okay. We're playing first against Jengatha. Interesting. I think I'll probably mulligan this to try to find something a little bit better, like more colors. Yeah, and these are a lot of slow lands, but we'll keep it. Heartless Act is nice. Dropping Ashiok or Elspeth Conquers Death. I guess we have more colors to cast that, so we'll go ahead and drop the Elspeth Conquers Death. This isn't amazing with the slow lands, but we're on the Plague, which is a big deal. Double Oath of Kaya is great. So I've not actually seen many people playing Jengatha. I don't know really what to expect here. Lots and lots of tap lands. Hushbringer. So this is only creatures entering the battlefield, so Oath of Kaya still works. I'll probably just hold up the Heartless Act though. So pass the turn. Let's see if they like try for Droxa or something like that. All right, let's Heartless Act. Hushbringer. Oath of Kaya killed Pridemate. Thank you. Oath of Kaya. Kill Pridemate. Really intrigued to see what this is. Okay, Hollow Fountain tap. Pass the turn. So we have Ashiok next turn, which can just make blockers every single turn, which will be great. Oath of Kaya for some more removal. We do need to actually find like card draw or some way to finish this game out. So Ashiok. -3, slow them down a bit. Or do I just tick up? Because I mean, this has double strike, but we can block for days, right? The issue is if they have... Oh, thanks. So we can bounce this, but then they have a chance to mutate again. That only deals damage to creature or planeswalker. If they mutate twice, it's bad. I think I'd almost rather just have a blocker at that point. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. All right. Exile Snapdax. if anything does, like, if they try to kill Ashiok through attacking, that's kind of fine. Exile's a land. That means they probably have another one in hand.
Toil to the recess of your mind.
All right, so let's go with, well, this, so tick up here. Omen of the Sea. Double Oath of Kai can kill stuff. I think we probably want the land as well. We actually have to have the land to be able to do that. We do need lands. Maybe we just dig for Shatter the Skies here, though. We can probably find more lands along the way. We're still drawing 2 cards. Okay, there's the Shatters. That's what we're hoping for. All right, so play Kaya. Exile some stuff. 2 creatures. Gain some life back. Now if they swing at face, we're actually feeling probably confident enough to just hold back for a bit. And we'll block because we're going to Shatter anyway. So the worst case scenario is that they can mutate onto Snapdax with something, and then we lose. Like if they have another Snapdax and get double triggers, they get to kill both of our guys. But we're shattering after the fact, and hopefully we can find some other stuff. But that's definitely the worst case scenario. All right, so they get to kill 1 creature. That's kind of fine. They can mutate again as well. All right, kills Kaya. Mortifies, and then kills Ashiok. All right. I see what you did there. I did not like it. Gain some life, deal some damages. All right. I think we just Shatter. They only have 2 cards left, but they do have a Jingatha. We're just gonna have to find a way to get through it. Thank you. It's almost like I'm playing Control. All Control has is answers. We could cycle here. So we can't just create a blocker with Castle Ardenvale. We can draw cards, we can neutralize something. So let's just pass the turn. We're already up by 5 points of life, so we can just take damage, draw cards, do something, create blockers, all the things, counter things. So I think that we just go ahead and take it this turn. We'll probably scry and then cycle if we feel like it. We cycle into another Shatter the Skies. We're kind of fine with the Johnny's Pridemate. They're not actually doing anything to gain life. That's fine, I guess. Scry or Castle Lockthwain? Castle Lockthwain is a lot of damage. Okay. Definitely got to find Shatter the Skies, so we're going to dig as deep as we can for it. Kaya does kill Knight. And hope that we can find an answer here. Another neutralize, so I can... Alright, I think it's just Oath of Kaya, kill Knight. Thank you again. Dude, this guy's nice. Do I cycle now? If I find the land, I can at least play it out. And having more lands will be helpful. So I think we do cycle now. Okay, so we get to play the land, pass the turn. Just digging for Shatter the Skies. That is one issue. I try to fit a few more Planeswalkers into this deck instead of Shatters and things. I think we actually play out the Shark Typhoon. They did have Mortifies. We did see that. But if we can create a few blockers each turn. All right, I think we just play out Shark Typhoon. We can take another turn of damage. And then we just try to stay in this game after that. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah, they had the Mortify. I think that was our best shot. And now we're just hoping we can find a Shatter the Skies. We'll cycle next turn, see if we find it. I still have double white if I cycle that way, right? Okay, yeah, we're good. We're taking 7. Well, that was terrible. We just scry again. Holy crap, how many lands was that? We put 2 lands to the bottom, found a land, and then scried 2 more lands to the bottom. Get down to 2. I mean, if we find a shot of this, guys, we're still kind of in the game. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to see how far away it was. Man. Well, we'll go out our own way. Good game. How many lands in a row? Oh my goodness, that was like 9 to 10 lands in a row. Dude, I was just hosed by Arena. Oh, that was rough. I need to get an emote for like lands or getting flooded because that happens so often. All right, up against the guy. Dude, I wish I was the guy. All right, we're going to keep this. We have Omen of the Sea. We have some good plays in the early game. Need to find the white manas, but we'll do it. We'll do it. We got scries. We got draws. Oh, that is white mana. Slow white mana. We can kind of play slow turn 4, so that's fine. Oh my gosh, my dude has arrived. Up against Yorion. So we need to find our Ashiok. Alright, Omen of the Sea. More white mana. I think we just hope that we find it along the way. That's the wrong Ashiok here. So yeah, the 3 mana Ashiok completely hoses this deck. First off, it actually turns off Birth of Meletis. It does a lot of good things. So we Narset this turn, we hold up neutralize for the Fires of Invention. And now we're just trying to dig for answers. Mystical Dispute. Cool. I see what you're doing there, fool. Finds Nars Fires. All right. About the planes. Negative. Ashiok. So we can neutralize and Mystical Dispute this next turn. We can only counter Fire's Invention though if we have 3 mana up. So pass the turn. Hopefully they'll just be stuck on lands. That would be pretty nice. Hey, they find Elspeth Conquers Death. Alright, we'll go ahead and scry. Teferi's also meh. Otokai can kill Narset. So they're probably going to have Fires and Elspeth Conquers Death, which hits Ashiok. We can't counter either of them. I mean, these are both good cards. Are they actually like interacting with the opponent this turn, though? I'm not really sure. I think that I keep them. I'm going to go ahead and keep them here. I mean, not finding more lands is a bit of an issue. But we do have some pretty good answers for the next couple turns, except we have to basically just wait until we can neutralize the Fires of Invention. Ashiok does hose the rest of their plan. Like, if they do just play Luca out, they can still steal our stuff, although we can counter Luca as well. So I guess we just pass the turn. Yeah, pass the turn. We can create tokens as well to start going after Narset for a couple turns. In a couple turns, yeah, we got things we can do. Okay, cycles, that's fine. I have been debating if bringing in Tell's End over like Neutralize or something like that could be good, because a lot of the things you're wanting to counter, like these things aren't legendary, but like Yorion can be countered that way. The ability of Yorion is actually the best thing to counter. Everything gets blinked, and then you counter the ability; they don't come back. That's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Okay. All right.
My mind needs a rest.
Oh, I need more mana. All right, pass my turn. Got to do something. So we're discarding here. I could shatter this guy. And then we could like bounce to Fairy in the next turn. So if I shatter this guy, I just get rid of these two guys. We have no targets for Elspeth, Conqueror's Death. Nothing for, like, they can get out Fires of Invention. We can blink it then with Teferi. The issue is, what else will they get out? Luca. They also have Castle Ardenvale for Luca. But Oath of Kaya might be able to stop that, or Elspeth, Conqueror's Death. So I think Shatters is probably the best play here. If we're not just willing to discard and hold up counter spells, which that might have been the better play, is just discard, hold up counter spells. But I mean, that does shut down the Luca plan as well. Okay. They also are pretty close to just being able to do more stuff. Yeah, not a blue spell, can't cast it. They get one free spell here. Yeah, I'm not even sure they play too much out. All right, there's a Luca. All right, so Elspeth Conqueror's Death can kind of help. We can get Luca at least, but if they have another one, we're dead. I think that we should have just held up the counter spells. Yeah. Steals a land. Now we don't have Elspeth Conqueror's Death. So yeah, I played that wrong. Again, I'm not too great at this whole control thing. Don't do it that often. So Yorion blinks Agent of Treachery, but we can counter the Yorion with Mystical Dispute. If they have a land, actually they'll be able to play it for free and then pay for Mystical Dispute. I think it's over. We can Teferi bounce. We can't even draw a card here. I think this one's done. I think that we just didn't get out the right pieces at the right time. Or I should have held up the counter spells and probably not kept the Kaya and Teferi there, so we could find more land, so we could eventually get out of the trap of just not being able to play things and hold up counter spell. I think it just comes down to inexperience of playing control. I think that our deck definitely had a shot against that one though. We just had to play it better than Jeff does. They also had double Shark Typhoon, which was annoying. All right, up against Terra Rose, and yeah, this looks like a pretty good hand. Keep this. We get turn 2 Heartless Act if we feel like we need it. Interplanar Beacon. I actually need to find more black mana for like a Cry of the Canarium, but hitting lands isn't bad. I think we can find some better stuff. All right, let's just play Hollow Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. So we have Cry of the Canarium if they do play like creatures here. This could be a flash deck. I'm like reading so far into the first play. All right, so yeah, I actually am pretty sure it is a flash deck, which means that this Teferi, this does come in untapped, right? Yeah. This Teferi is gonna be Beautimus. Oh. Just kidding, not quite as Beautimus as I hoped. Oh no. Got this shrine tapped. Next turn we can start holding up Castle Vantris Scry. A Mystical Dispute. Okay, pass the turn. Start scrying, Shark Typhooning, whatever. I would like to get out Shark Typhoon just as an actual card. Yeah, they have it. The issue is just Mystical Dispute does get us. So Shadow of the Sky doesn't do much. Omen of the Sea, I guess, is worthwhile. Yeah, so I think we Omen of the Sea. I'm going to do it main phase here. If we find land off the top or something like that, it can be nice. Like, what are we looking for here? They haven't found any red mana yet. Ashiok to get rid of Uro from the game is pretty nice. This could just be normal stuff. Let's see here. And thank you guys so much for the raid. So I'm doing this just emotes only for the first little bit here while I record something for YouTube. But then we'll be doing a lot of ranking and stuff after the fact. I mean, if we're trying again, we get to draw an Omen of the Sea. Let's just draw the Omen of the Sea. Do it again. Doing it main phase because we can still play lands and we have like 0 interaction at the moment. Kaya, I mean, that is like our win condition, but it doesn't interact at all right now. We just need to find counter spells to fairy, stuff like that. Or lands. All right. Oh, they found the red mana. We're in trouble. Yeah, Wilderness Reclamation is a hard matchup. What we need to do is counter their Wilderness Reclamation, which we did. We just didn't counter the second one. And that's bad. Ashiok, let's see. I'm assuming they're holding up counter spells. That's what it looks like they've been doing. So yeah. I'm trying to think of how we can actually come out of this. A big Shark Typhoon might be able to get us there. If we don't find something the next turn or two, we're definitely out of here. Yeah, okay, we're out of here. And we can stay alive for a few turns, but like we're so far away from actually being able to interact with what they're doing. All right, let's go to the next one. Up against Lord Sid. Bring it on, Lord Sid. Yeah, good hand. We'll keep it. Removals. I'm going to see we're up against Luris as well. Being on the play against this deck would be really nice. That's not bad. Okay, Gather Shrine tap. Pass the turn. We'll probably shock in the Omen of the Sea. I don't want to shock ourselves 2 turns, though. We can find Cry of the Canarium and lands to play it. That could be really nice. Lots of Oath of Kayas. That is very, very good here. We'll go ahead and shock ourselves, pass the turn. We are going really low, but we know we have 9 life gain in hand. Cauldron Familiar. Oh, I just love that they always have everything. And which is up. Just to scare him a little bit. Land. Yeah, I think we keep them both. That lets us play Oath of Kaya without shocking ourselves. We get to Ashiok. Ashiok becomes a really good blocker for us. So the only issue here is that Oath of Kaya is not going to gain us life on this turn. We do target the Dreadhorde Butcher. They probably sack it. It's wise to sack it so that we don't gain life. But we're getting rid of Dreadhorde Butcher either way. Taking it down to 11. Going down to 10, 11 next turn. And then we can start playing Ashiok. Ashiok can help a little bit against this deck. So Hollow Fountain tapped. We have to not die. So I mean, Oath of Kaya doesn't do anything. It's Cauldron Familiar. So we play it out and we just target their face, gain some life, go up to 12. The Ashiok will be nice, but I think that we want to get this one out first, start creating tokens over and over again, and then start exiling the graveyard once they like finally get out Lurrus or something. Elspeth Conquer Death can only hit Lurrus, so that's kind of a dead card. Down to 10. Heartless Act is not bad. So Ashiok. Start ticking up. We have a little bit more life gain. I mean, double Cauldron Familiar is just really, really annoying. Yep. We have to not die to these guys, so that means we have to win. Find a way to win sooner than later. Gosh dang it. Claim the Firstborn, Witch's Oven. This deck is so good. Oh, alright. Just a few Cauldron Familiars. It's all good. Okay, down to 3. Yeah, I'm just going after a life total. So we are basically dead here. They should have just gone for the Cauldron Familiars, get our life total down. Because then it's... so we can exile the Witch's Oven, force them to do something now. Fortunately, Shatters doesn't really do much of anything, though. So I think we Oath of Kaya... Man, we've had some awkward running here. And being on the draw is so much worse. So much worse. I don't think we can negative here. I mean, bouncing these guys doesn't help. Witch's Oven just comes down next turn. They can still use it in response. So we create blockers so that we can try to survive. We Heartless Act in response to them sacking stuff. But they have extra food tokens, so that doesn't really do much of anything. Well, we survive for another turn or two. Yay! Until they have another Claim the Firstborn. Yeah, Heartless Act is just another point of damage for us now. This ability, if it was all at sorcery speed, it'd be fine. But like, then it would also be completely useless. And so I get it. I understand it. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Attacks in. I don't know why they're not attacking in. Alright, well, we get rid of Priest of Forgotten Gods. We can also kind of shatter here. Shatter twice. I don't know why they didn't swing in. Swinging in definitely killed us there. And now we kind of have a tiny, tiny small chance. We need to find ways to... We need things to exile from their graveyard that we can, or their exile zone that gains us life. No attacks, pass the turn. So here's the thing is, if they had done 2 points of damage there, they had an extra food token, and then they could have them all come back to 3 more damage. So I guess we would have dropped down to 1. But I don't feel like that's a bad spot for them to be in. Yeah. We can exile a food token as well. Is there any way that we can actually gain life here? Okay, yeah, that's game. We were basically done for a while. All right, we're gonna do one more here, and then I'll be getting into just doing other actual good decks for ranking, but I want to try to get one more win. Yeah, so those that are watching, I'm gonna turn off emotes after this game. Emotes only. Don Fatoni. Believe, thanks so much for the cheers. The bits. All right, we have Mystical Dispute and nothing else against Luris. Yeah, we got a mulligan. We did have the Shadow of the Sky, which is nice. This will keep... we'll drop Ashiok. Ashiok's really good here as well, but Kaya, Shatter, Omen are all really, really good. So we're going to keep those instead. No in our set. We need lands for Shatter and other stuffs. All seed. Okay. KO. We'll shock ourselves. Pass the turn. Yeah, okay, so this is the mono white version, which I think is crazy powerful, but we just happen to have like the perfect answers for it here. So it should be semi-okay. Land into neutralize. If we can counter them playing any creatures, so we wouldn't really play this until turn 4. So if we don't Shatter the Skies, it'd be nice to kind of hold that up. Because if we can just counter Luris, so I guess we keep them both here. We can play it a little bit slower. He's got Oath of Kaya, or Kaya, Exile, Alseed. This is the other reason why I'm really liking this deck, is that Kaya, not only does it kill it, it exiles it. So their best play here is to, actually they don't have the mana. So yeah, we exile a creature. All the auras don't do much without creatures. Shadow the Skies can kill your other creatures next turn, or just Kaya, because all of them are 1 mana things. So swing at Kaya. We'll probably Shatter. Okay, just kill Kaya. Interesting. That makes sense. So we do want to hold up Shatters until they can actually... They'll just play Sentinel's Eyes here. Okay, Sentinel's Eyes. Is it worthwhile to Shatter here is the question. We can play Castle Vantress, Shatter, kill another creature. They get Luris. If they have land, they Luris, just bring it back. And I'd much rather Shatter after the fact. So if we don't do that, though, then is it Neutralize? Which then we also have to play out the Castle Vantress. But Ashiok can be kind of a good distraction for us. So I think we play out Castle Vantress, pass the turn. We can neutralize or just scry if we don't feel like there's something worth neutralizing, or if we can just get them on the Shadow of the Sky. Kamacha's Blessing is really annoying, but if we can kill Luris, we're kind of fine with it. They have no solid footing, so not extra damage yet. 1 card left in hand. Did they play out Luris? Yes. All right, that's perfect. So we let Luris resolve because we can shatter. Shark Typhoon and land. Yeah, that's fine. So shatter this guy. This is probably a scoop after this point, but we'll see. This deck is pretty resilient. I'm actually surprised how resilient it is. Get out the tap land. Keep that on top. That's an actual way for us to win. I don't think they have a way to interact with it. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got another win. All right, so there you guys have it with Exile Control. I do think that the deck has a lot of really good pieces here. I ran it poorly, and I think that there was, you know, a few games where like I drew into 10 lands in a row or something like that, where I just have some bad luck. I do think that I should probably tweak up the numbers a little bit for more of the meta. I feel like the deck was pretty well tuned. Excuse me, that was bad. To beat the more aggro decks, the more like kind of early game decks, where we were able to interact with them pretty well as long as we drew some of the right pieces. And then the ones where I just drew really poorly after the fact were the ones that we lost. So overall, I went 2 and 4 with the deck, and so it definitely wasn't very good running there, but the deck still felt like it had some chances. And I do think that going for Kaya as a win condition, because a lot of people are putting things into the graveyard, it does kind of hose Luris decks just straight up, you know, and so it's a really good answer for one of the main decks that are being played. It also, I think, going for the kind of the Exile plan, Ashiok also completely hoses the Luca decks and everything. So I think it's just finding the right ones at the right times. Maybe it's going up to 4 copies of each so you can actually be interacting better, but then I don't know how you change up everything else here. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.